Charlie's Angels was a revolutionary television show in the 70s that was about three women played by Jacqueline Smith and Farrah Fawcett and Kate Jackson. That was about women, professional women in PI work. It was turned into a series of films by Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, and Lucy Liu in the early 2000s. And today I am sitting with the new Angels, Ella Balinska, Kristen Stewart, and Naomi Scott. You did not very often see women not only at work. I mean, there was, Rhoda and Mary Tyler Moore came before the Charlie's Angels, but for me, watching professional women doing an incredible job and doing a job that was mostly done by men. You have to remember that back then in the 70s, there were not women in the police force in real life, and certainly not on TV. Nowadays, we have Mariska Hargitay on Law & Order SVU every week telling ladies that they can do police work, but in the 70s, that was truly revolutionary. This movie is about the formation of a new team of angels, and at the heart of it is Naomi's character, Elena, who is a corporate whistleblower. I think whistleblowing is very much in the zeitgeist right now. Corporate malfeasance is rampant, and this is a movie about how women need to be believed and they need to be supported in their jobs.
It's literally a movie about women working together, them failing and succeeding together and having a lot of fun doing it, and with the backdrop of something as iconic as Charlie's Angels. And Liz Banks is the perfect person to take this on. I think, being an actress and having all the experience that she has as a director and a producer and the kind of comedy aspect. I mean, it's so funny. And for me personally, I feel like I was pushed really in that area and kind of improv, and I think it really carries the DNA, the fun DNA of the movies. And what I remember, with the 2000 movies and kind of that feeling, it evokes all of those feelings, but just in a kind of modern day twist.
Initially, I read a sort of early script that was quite plot heavy and seemingly a more, a studio film that hadn't really been breathed, the life hadn't been breathed into it. When Liz told me about the movie she wanted to make, regardless of the script, she took it and told her own story, which is that of somebody who understands the value in feminine strength and is not trying to do an impression of sort of more. We're used to seeing a lot of masculinity in action films, and I feel like these women are really aspirational and really relatable and attainable. We do everything we do in the film is totally within our actual grounded ability, and so the comedy comes from just how funny girls are together and the weird stuff you talk about when in heightened situations, and how that warmth and that connection that you really can only have with your girlfriends is actually one of the most inspiring and just revitalizing. It's such a breath of fresh air to see us, proactively move the action forward and not have everything happening to us. We are in the offensive seat. We're not in peril. We're moving towards the action. Yeah, and so I've only really seen.
She always runs away. Elena's just like, no.
Well, she's in training. Yeah. So no, I mean honestly, Liz, she's really funny and is very aware of people in a way that's super accessible but also very specific. And yeah, I mean, I knew when she described to me the movie that she wanted to make, before even reading her version of the script, I knew for a fact that I wanted to help her do it.
Yeah, I had a mantra when I was writing about the action, which was that angels fight smarter, not harder. That men come into every situation with their fists up, and we come in with many other strategies in mind first, that we're actually there to avoid confrontation as long as possible, which is how women approach most situations, because we are small and it is hard for us to be up big men, unless you're Ella Balinska. And and so it made every single set piece more interesting and more specifically a Charlie's Angels set piece, not just a car chase that you could see in any movie. This was a car chase that you could only see in a Charlie's Angels movie. I wouldn't have made the movie without Kristen, truly. She, to me, represents everything that modern women want to be, which is she lives authentically, she has incredible energy, she has a huge spirit, a huge heart, she's really funny, she's one of the finest actresses of any generation, and a total pro that I knew I could count on. And then Nay, you know, who I had also worked with in the past, I knew brought this like just charm and the happiness and joyfulness that this movie requires.
There's a real purity of heart.
That's it.
That is undeniable.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then I needed a grounded, real, kick-ass action heroine, and this one came in. I remember watching the tape and being like, "Oh my god!" And I showed it to you, and you're like, "Yeah, I think that's gonna work."
The answer is yes.
But more importantly, I wanted someone who. There's a yin to the yang between these two characters that really needed to be there for the comedic stuff to work. You know, I'm thinking about comedy as well as the action bona fides, which she obviously has in spades. But I wanted to make sure that you felt like there was someone there who fought with precision, who really represented the discipline that it actually requires to be a Charlie's Angel, and that is in Ella. When I first pitched the movie, I wanted to answer the question, what has this rich playboy Charles Townsend, who I'm pretty sure just hangs out in hot tubs with babes smoking stogies, what's he been up to for 40 years since he was, was recognizing that the feminist movement was like all the rage in the 70s, and he obviously had a lot of success with the idea of female PIs. What would he have built the agency into? And it felt like it had to be a global spy agency. There had to be angels everywhere. There's actually a placard on the door of the Townsend Agency in the television show that says the Townsend Agency, Los Angeles, Honolulu, Shanghai. And I thought, well, what are they doing in Shanghai? Who's there? Who's in that office? What is the Townsend Agency of Honolulu like? And you
tell one woman or three, namely, that they're powerful, and it spreads like wildfire. And then there's like a network that spans the globe. And
I wanted it to feel like you didn't have to go to the police academy to be an angel, and you didn't have to have any sort of specific skill set. You just had to have moxie and resilience, perseverance.
That's a great word.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what the grit is, what Charlie's really looking for, because there can be angels everywhere, and we need you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey!